Latch here with Allies, and we're sitting here with Allies member Brandon Hart with the company called the CleanerNet, and super passionate about what he's doing and helping the world navigate a lot of crazy stuff that's happening. Protect our families and our kids and just our homes in general. And just want to learn a little bit more about you personally. That's the purpose of these meetings and these interviews is to get to know some of the members and the businesses here in St. George and in our local community. And so before we get into your business, I just want to get to know you a little bit. So Brandon, tell us about yourself, like your hobbies, interests, maybe a little bit about your family, just anything you would want to share with somebody that would want to know, who is Brandon Hart?
Sure, yeah. So Brandon Hart, I've lived in St. George since 2003, moved here pretty early on, and started a business called Vision Electronics down here, and ran that for about 14 years. And about 2 years ago, decided to kind of take a little step back and reassess life a little bit, and was looking for opportunities to maybe do something different, maybe start a new business or kind of pursue other opportunities. So I have 6 children. We are a blended family, and my youngest is 4 months old and my oldest is 16. So we kind of span the whole gamut. I decided to kind of start over and start having kids again at 40. And it's been awesome, man. I actually love being a 40-year-old plus dad because I'm so much better at it than I used to be. Like when you're starting your family in your 20s, there's just all this stress about like, oh my gosh, I'm a dad now. And
well, I just love that I'm not alone because my oldest is 18 in September and my youngest is 2. So it's basically the same.
Yeah.
I'm now 47. So.
Yep. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah. I have so many friends that are just a little older than me, maybe kind of pushing your age, Paul, no offense, but a little bit older, and their kids are graduating, they're going off to college and stuff, and I've had more than one of them just kind of say, man, I envy you. I kind of, I miss that. I miss, taking my kid to play basketball, t-ball and all that stuff. So I'm just looking forward to being able to enjoy, having young children around for a little while still while the rest of my friends
they keep you young. We've literally been changing diapers for 18 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Haven't stopped yet. Yeah. And looking forward to that day.
Yeah. So anyway, that's probably a pretty good lead-in actually to my business. So, because really family and, having a healthy family is really important to me as it is for, I'm sure, many, many of you. And about a year ago, I got involved with a friend of mine, and she runs an organization called Global Education Philanthropists. And she was telling me a little bit about some of her experiences working in Haiti and some of these orphanages and with some of the school children there. And her eyes were open to just this massive problem with human trafficking. And I got really interested and involved in that because like so many of us, where I'm kind of ignorant to how big of a problem this is. I had no idea that this is literally the fastest growing crime enterprise in the world right now. I mean, it's on track to actually surpass illicit drugs in revenue, which is just a staggering number. And and every day you get on the news and you find these articles about children that are just disappearing all over the United States, and it's happened here even in St. George. And so that just kind of opened my eyes to a real issue that we're facing as parents, and heaven forbid something happened to one of our children, right? Yeah. And come to find out that really at the root of that problem is the fact that there is such a demand for it, right? Like if there isn't a demand, then there isn't a market.
Sure.
And that demand is really, unfortunately, American men are seeking relationships with underage children. That's really the reality. And that all stems from addictions with hardcore pornography and things like that. And so these habits and these issues really start in our own homes. And so I kind of took it upon myself to really try and figure out a way that I could maybe help curb this massive problem that's this growing issue that's happening. And that's why I started the CleanerNet. And the CleanerNet really is just kind of a digital toolbox. It's a virtual toolbox that gives parents, individuals, the ability to kind of limit or select the type of content that they want to allow into their homes and on their kids' devices. And what that does is it kind of creates a barrier, right? It's like when you're driving down the freeway. If there were no lines, if you just got on a 4-lane highway and there was no lines, there was no walls, and there was nothing to direct which side of the street you were supposed to drive on, it would be extremely dangerous. And that's really what we're dealing with. The internet is just like, it is the information superhighway, and we are handing the keys over to our children to just say, hey, get on, good luck, and I hope, don't get any accidents. And statistically, we're just seeing a lot of, especially youth, that are getting into addiction, whether it's pornography, social media addiction, and so forth. And so I just wanted to really help with that. And so that's really what...
Yeah, I think a lot of parents are not aware of what is available to them. I know there's filters that help with, whatever your router is and whatever,
Sure.
and if you're getting on your Wi-Fi. But what I love about your product, from what I know, is it's for every device, whether they're getting on your Wi-Fi system or they're using data or something else,
right,
that you can keep every one of your devices protected.
Right.
And have that history, and you can have that accountability and things like that for your family, because young children are curious, and it's just a matter of not if, just when they're going to see something they shouldn't be looking at or seeing that we don't want them to see. And so obviously, what advice do you have for young parents of setting these systems up, and then even just having the conversations with our kids to protect our families?
Sure, that's a great point. I think as I've talked to parents, a lot of us that have younger children, they kind of don't really see the need for a product like this. Say, well, my children are young. I hear that all the time. My children are young, and maybe when they're older, I'll get it. And the problem with that ideology is that the time that people are looking at getting into a product like the CleanerNet generally is when they discover a problem, right? It's a reactionary purchase. It's like, oh my goodness, I just found some stuff on my son's phone or whatever. I got to do something about this. And by that point, in my opinion, it's too late, right? The problem is that you don't know how long. And unfortunately, most children, at least on all the numbers that I've read, are exposed to pornography from the age of 9 to 11. That's the average. So if you say, well, I have younger children, I don't need to worry about that, that is actually the reason why you need to worry about it. And so what I'm trying to do is just help encourage parents to take a proactive approach. Number one, talk to your children about it. There's lots of resources online. There's some great books out there to talk to your children about, like, some of these things that are happening, and to let them know that not everybody's your friend, and there's a lot of people that pretend to be somebody else. And so you need to kind of help. If you're gonna hand over a smartphone or a tablet to a child, make sure you educate them, and that you yourself set up some parameters or limits. Whether you use a product like mine or not, it's important to establish boundaries. Yeah. And the one thing that's great about the CleanerNet is it allows families to do that. It kind of takes a lot of that pressure off of you as a parent from wondering, oh gosh, is my kid doing this, or is he staying up late at night, in his bedroom doing something that I don't want him to be doing. I don't have to worry about that in my home. My internet turns off at 10 o'clock, and at midnight, like, the whole house is shut down. And so I don't need to worry about somebody streaming something or staying up till 3 in the morning playing video games and things like that are common issues that we just, we all have children, and we love the internet. We have these devices, and we love them, we use them. And so, I want to change kind of the culture and help people.
You're painting the lines and giving them direction on the freeway.
Right, exactly.
That's good.
And I think a lot of people look at a product like the CleanerNet as, well, you're taking my freedom away. You're like, you want to control what I can and can't do online. And I think it's exactly the opposite of that. I think it's really just like, I don't want to control you. I just want to make sure that you're not driving your car off of a cliff.
Right.
That's really what
it comes
down
to. That's a great analogy.
So.
And I think any family out there that hasn't already got these kind of solutions, really look into the CleanerNet. It's an easy tool to use, and it has so many different abilities to, like I said, protect all of your devices, whether they're on your particular Wi-Fi or not, which is different than a lot of solutions. And the other thing is part of the proceeds go to fight this human trafficking and working with Cami Volker and
Right.
the global philanthropists.
Yep.
And so, anyway, anything else that we haven't covered that you want to make sure people know?
Yeah, just just make sure if you're interested, go to thecleanernet.com. It's thecleanernet.com, and you can see our products on there. You can read about kind of our mission and what we're doing with Cami and with Adaptive Ops. We actually are working to help extract children from these terrible situations. We're having some great success, and so every time you sign up or subscribe to the CleanerNet, some of those proceeds are going to go to help fight human trafficking and really make a difference in people's lives. And that's what I love to do. That's really why I'm passionate about this. Is I want to help people, and these are precious souls out there, and these are our kids.
The only way we're going to protect our kids is to educate and to pass the word. And so if you already have a good solution to protect your family, make sure you tell your neighbors and friends and everybody. It's what we need to do to get through this together.
Yeah, for sure.
You've been a member of Allies for some time.
Yeah.
I'm just curious why. What do you get out of being a member of Allies and being part of this community?
I think probably for me, one of the greatest benefits to being a member of Allies is the connections and getting to know a lot of the other business owners and entrepreneurs here in the area. I think it's important to have a sense of place in your community, and it's great to know all of these different resources that I can turn to. I mean, there's such a diverse group of people, and they're extremely smart. They're very good at what they do, and so I can go forward with confidence, knowing that if I need insurance, I can talk to this person, or it's like if I need catering done for a party, I know who to go to. Like it's just a great resource for pretty much most things that we need in our lives at varying times. So I love that about it, and I love the things that I've learned from those individuals. We have these great kind of breakout sessions, and I've been to a couple of meetings. We did one in Bryce Canyon that I went to not too long ago with my wife, and we just had a great experience, just really getting to kind of dig deep into my own business and some of the things that I was struggling with, and getting to hear what other people kind of are struggling with, and to be able to talk and share ideas. I think that's probably the most beneficial thing for me. I mean, those lessons and some of those little pieces of information and advice that you get from some of these other people, these other members, are priceless. They more than compensate for the cost, for sure.
Well, I appreciate that, and we are going to be interviewing a lot of our members, getting to know this community better, and so follow us on Allies USA, #Allies USA, and we'll see you at the next time.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks.